Hello everybody. It is Thursday. We're back to regular time, 3 o'clock on Thursdays. And we have a fun card today. We'll just give everybody a minute here. Hope everybody's settling in after Christmas and New Year's. Hey Rosie, hey Tamara. The colors really work, don't they? It wasn't something that I had been really planning beforehand, but I think once it all came together. Hey Tammy, hi Susan. It just pops, which I think, oh hi Tammy Lever. I think sometimes we need that little pop of color, especially in the winter. So yeah, we did some Distress Oxidd sprays. We're going to do some. Hey Michelle, how are you? Then we've got these fun penny Black Festive Family dies. And I love die cutting the Wild Whisper paper. I feel like it's a really great weight, and it's got this really glossy texture, and it just die cuts beautifully. So I love the little pattern that's on there. And then this die cutting system, they're calling it here, from Picket Fence. I'm really impressed with this. Yeah, I know the turquoise is one of your favorites. Hey, Michelle, greens and blues. So this is new, and it had sold out, and then Sandy got it back in stock in the shop. So it's got the larger outside die cut. So you've got the black would be the size of the larger one. It does add a nice texture, Tammy. Then you've got the smaller one, so that's the inside. So you could use those separate or together. And then you've got all these different inserts. So I thought this was pretty cool. So you've got the trees, which I really like. And then you've got these trees here. So these are more like birch trees, and then you've got the pines. And I'm just going to show you, I am actually posting this on the Wild Whisper blog today. It's going up at 4, but this is vertical. So I really like the way this has turned out as well. This is the same paper as that Adventure Collection. And the Adventure Collection did come out last year, I think. I love it. I love all those kind of rustic images in it. Anyway, so this one's for the Wild Whisper blog, but I had all this stuff out and I thought I may as well keep playing the link. Thanks, Rosie, for the link. Tammy, dude, look away. And you could totally do the same thing, turn this up like this and have your tree part here. So depending on how you want it, or you could put another tree in the center, or, you know, you could mix it up and put these trees. I really like the silhouette that creates. But then you've also got the square, and it's got the dot, the stitched on the outside of it. So this is the circle. And then if you were to cut the circle right into this panel, it would leave the stitching on the outside. You've got this cute little fence, which I think would be really cute for spring. And then you've got the grass, which would be really great. So lots of layering and lots of different ways that you can put this together. I think it said 256 different combinations. It can't be unseen, I know. So this was their little sample on the back, which I thought was really cute. They have those birch trees, but they've colored them in some light browns, and they have them one on top of each other. So I think it's really cute. I was really impressed. So I thought we'll put this card together using this. and just do a little bit of mixed media. Hey, Lorraine. We've got our Wink of Stella brush, which is awesome and adds just a little bit of shimmer. Then we're using the Distress Oxide sprays. I've got peacock feathers and speckled egg, which I thought looked really nice together. And let's move this out of the way. Let's see, we've got our little die cut animals from that Penny Black Festive Family die. So what's everybody been up to? Oh, this is the Adventure Ephemera. So the wolf here, as well as this is from the ephemera pack that matches that paper. And I don't have the paper collection here to show you because I've used almost all of it and there's just bits and pieces. There's not even the cover left. So, but if you look in the shop and want to see what the cover looks like, it's just Wild Whisper Adventure, and that'll come up. So this paper is from there, and then the black is in there. And then this is one of the ephemera pieces, as well as the leaves. And that bear was fussy cut out of a sheet of paper that has bears in different colors and designs. Your coloring images, Stacy. So we are going to start off by spraying our background pieces. This is Bristol Smooth. Oh, thanks, Rosie. This is a Bristol Smooth. You could use a watercolor cardstock would work well. If you have Vicki Bouton's mixed media cardstock, anything like that. And if you don't, just go with white paper. You're not going to get as much as the blending, and it may warp a little bit more, but certainly play around with it. Thanks, Lorraine. I do not mind fussy cutting. All right, so first we are going to give this a little spray of water. This is just plain water, just to get this stuff moving. We may as well, you know what, we'll do them both at the same time. Then we've got the speckled egg. Finished Christmas cards, you started. Yeah, I know. I did get all mine sent out. Some were sent a little bit late, and that's okay. I was totally okay with that. And I'm still getting Christmas cards in the mail, and it's so nice. Like, just, I've still got them all up. I put away my other decorations, except for my tree so far. All right, I'm giving this both a little spray. When I do spray my Oxide sprays, I always just give them a little bit of a wipe at the end. So I still have all my Christmas cards up, but I decided that I'm putting the other stuff away. Yeah, you can still, I think you can send some anytime, or you can just start for the next year. I am going to start early, and the Scrap Shotz girls and I were talking about every week doing Christmas cards. So I think we'll try to do some kind of a Christmas card challenge or something maybe in that Scrap Shotz paper crafting group, just to get moving on it, because once December hits, it's so busy. You thought I was using a gray with the turquoise. Yeah, the speckled egg really does kind of look gray, hey? It is like that light blue gray. Then because this is obviously darker, so peacock feathers, and if you're mixing it, mix back and forth rather than up and down. I'm going to spray a little bit on the back on my mat rather than spray right over top, but just play around with different techniques. So then we're going to just add a little bit of water, and I'm going to just dip it in and do some different drips, and then we'll give it a little spray with water, and we'll just see what we have. Nice, Tammy. I really enjoy making Christmas cards, so I do like when I can just enjoy the process and, you know, really make those fun cards that I have fun making. When it comes to December, if I have some more to send out, then I usually do easier ones that kind of are more easy to kind of mass produce. So what I'm going to do here is add, I don't know, I honestly, I can't remember the process that I used on the other cards now, but it's just really have fun with it. We'll add a little bit more on there and then dry them in between if you want to get that layered look. And then we can start dipping this in. So that's where you're gonna get that layered, kind of fun mottled look. And you can still see in the background, you can see where we sprayed the speckled egg. I love when those layers start showing up and you have, it just looks like it's underwater, or you get really that texture almost. And you can do that as much as you want. We could, I'm gonna turn this off for a second, and I just dropped my card. Back to business. If you wanted to actually take a little bit of this speckled egg and layer this on top to get more dimension, again, you're just doing the same thing. And then you're really, yeah, you can really see that gray in there. Hey, Tammy? Okay, so you could go back and forth doing that really as much as you want. We're going to set that aside for a minute. That's pretty. You can see, I think everything is going to be a little bit different. It's pretty close. This might be a little tiny bit darker. So we'll just set those over there for a second. I do like the way those mix together. And then if you don't want to waste what you have there on your background, you just kind of take, I just sprayed some water and a tag, and then you could make something with this. This is just really soft because there wasn't a whole lot there, but look how pretty that is. And you don't have to dry this with the heat gun. You can just let it air dry as well. So we'll just wipe up the rest of that. So that's going to be our little windows. Then we are going to take our piece here and we're going to die cut the little trees out of it. So there's our sample there. And we could definitely go with, there's so many different options. I decided to kind of eyeball this so it's about the same space from the sides and the top and the bottom. And then I think you'd probably definitely want to put a little piece of washi tape on there just to keep it in place. Also, I just have a Cuttlebug, and it only has it's like 6.5 inch long maybe plates. So when I put the long plates on, here, I'll take one off. It's actually really simple to cut it if you have shorter plates. Hey Kimberly, how are you? So when I was putting my paper on, I put a little bit of washi tape on each end of it, and then I would roll it through till about here, then roll it out, move the end down carefully, and just roll it through the other way. So you're getting both ends cut. You just have to maneuver it a little bit, but you can easily do it. So we're gonna cut this piece here. Kimberly, we're using the Picket Fence Studios Slimline die cutting system. So it's like the large and the small Slimline, and then all the inserts that go in it, and the penny black, these little animals, which are super cute. So we'll run this through, and then we'll put it on the other end, and then we'll do a little bit of embossing. I do have some birthday cards that I need to get made for January. So I have to work on that. My daughter, Amy, her birthday is the end of January. Okay, so we've got that, and these ones just pop. I found that these cut really easily. I did run it forward and backwards, but I don't even think you'd have to do that. They cut so easy. And I think that the base is probably down here with the single, and then it goes up to 2, but I almost had it upside down the other day. I don't think it would really matter. Kim, you've not attempted Slimlines. Yeah, it is a nice set because you can mix and match all those. And it gives you lots of options. I have a few other ones. I really like the Mama Elephant. It's the basics one, but that one seems a little bit hard to get. But whether you have a few different ones, you could even use those inserts from this Picket fence in with all your other ones. And also, I was thinking that I'm going to make, you see the kind of slimline cards, but they're not super long. Stacy, what was that company that came out with the card that it was probably only about this long? It was really cute. And it was a die. Hi, Jennifer. But I thought you could size this any size that you wanted. You could cut it down and have a card that's kind of this length and still use those inserts into them, because you can move them around however you want. All right, so cut that out, super easy. And I have the rest of my die cuts cut out. Then we're gonna go back to our little pieces here, and we're going to do some embossing. Yeah, I think you're right, Lorraine. It was Photoplay. And those might still be in the shop. I can't remember. But yeah, those were cute. But easy to do that with these. Just cut them down to whatever size you want. Okay, so we are going to make sure these are dry because we're adding embossing, and if we don't make sure they're dry, the powder's still it's going to stick to everything. And then I'm going to take a powder bag, and I know there's a Ranger one that's in the shop right now. If I'm embossing, I definitely want to use this. So I'm just patting it. It's just putting a thin layer of powder. You can barely even see it. But if you have a dark cardstock and you can see the powder, after you emboss, you just wipe it off with a cloth and it just wipes away. So that's just allowing us to be able to emboss on there. And I'm just making sure we've got that the right. I think they were square, so it doesn't. Yeah. Okay, so I've got Versamark ink. Oh, thanks, Rosie. It was the Photo Play dies. And this here, I know this is not in the shop. It was an Emerald Creek one that was included with, if you did that snowflake card kit that we did for the Creative Scrapbooker Great, what did they call it? The crop, anyways, that was online. You would have got this and the powder in your bag. However, when I was looking through the shop, and Rosie, maybe you can link this. There's a Paper Rose Christmas Snowflakes stamp set that's absolutely beautiful. Hi, Heather. And then there's the Wow Calypso embossing glitter, and I think either of those would work in place of what I'm using. They looked beautiful. So this is just a small snowflake embossing ink with the Versamark. It's just holding on, it's going to hold on your embossing powder because it's sticky. And we'll just use this. I forgot to get a big piece of paper, but we'll hope that we can keep it contained. So I'm just embossing on this, or pouring my embossing powder on, tapping it off. It's really light, so we're going to be able to see it better once we emboss, but you're not looking for something really stark, or you could use a white embossing powder if you wanted a snowflake that's really sharp. Oh, thanks, Rosie, for linking those. So yeah, I think that Paper Rose Snowflake stamp looks amazing. Okay, I'm just trying to do this so I don't pour it all over the place while keeping it on camera. I just put them in different random places. And I don't know, what do you think? Am I going to be able to get it back in right now or not? Who's betting? If Michelle's here, she's probably waiting for me to spill this. Oh, it went back in. But that's real life crafting, isn't it? Okay. So we'll heat this up. All right, so we've got our sparkly snowflakes, which I think is very pretty. Hi, Betty. And we're going to put those behind our background. We could even go around that with a little bit of ink if you wanted. And you can see on this one, on the outside, I actually did. Okay, so we've got some glue. We'll just lightly put a piece. I do like that Wild Whisper uses their packaging so well, so their front information on their front of their paper packs, on the back side you get a bonus sheet of paper, which I think is really brilliant. Oh, good, Betty. I'm glad you could make it. So I'm just kind of seeing how I might like to put this in here. We'll try it like that. And you've got a little bit of time to move around with that wet glue. Hey, Christy, how are you doing? So we'll just push that on, and then same thing with this one. So yeah, we're back to Thursdays at 3 o'clock Mountain Time. I don't think it really matters with this one. We're gonna go this way. So I just cut these pieces of Bristol Smooth just to fit over the background, but if you wanted to do a whole background piece, you could do that as well. But just because I only had the 2 cutouts, I figured I may as well do the individual pieces. And we'll just press that down. And you know what, I have forgotten something, but it's okay because with the wet glue, we can pull that up a little bit. So we're just gonna pull that up till we can get our snow in behind there. Because I did wanna layer that snow in there. So the snow is from this penny black dye. So this is the Festive Family, and it cuts out the snow, and it will actually fit the full way across if you're using an A2 card. I'm just going to cut it in half, and we are going to tuck that in before we glue everything down. So maybe like kind of like that. We'll just stick a little bit on, and this is going to all be glued down securely to the back. So it's, if something's sticking out, that's okay. We'll get it all back together, and then we'll put the glue back on these parts. So that's as well something I do like about this art glitter glue is if I need to pull it up, I can pull it up right away. Once it is glued and dried, you're not moving it though. And it's even open inside those little pieces. So if you wanted to tuck or layer anything in those snowdrifts, you're able to do that. Okay, glue this back down. Now you can see over here when I die cut those trees out, I didn't put any snow or anything back there, but I guess you could like stamp some mountains or something behind them, and you just need to be aware of kind of your layers, what you're doing for your layers. Okay, then I die cut out with that same size die. So this is the smaller die from the Picket fence. I die cut 2 more layers because I wanted to pop it up a little bit, but I didn't want to use a whole bunch of foam tape because that would take a lot. And I do have some fun foam, but still that's quite a bit. So I just decided to cut 2 layers. You could cut 3 or 5. It was just some cardstock that I had, and I thought it's an easy way to give it a little bit of dimension just with 2 layers. Thanks, Betty. And really quick and easy to put together because you're just layering them. We've been trying to get out lately to get out for some walks with the girls because we're all home. And it has been so nice here in Calgary. It's even sunny today, and I unfortunately didn't get out, but I'm hoping to go out after this. It's been really beautiful. I think we can't complain about the weather lately. We've still got lots of snow around. So this piece here was die cut with the larger size of that die. And we'll glue that on. And when I do cut my card bases for my Slimline dies, I try to make a note on the packaging or wherever I have them stored. I just note what size I need my card base, so then I don't have to remeasure every time. So this is our layered. And you can see even with just 2 layers of the cardstock, it really gives it just some subtle dimension. It's not huge, even though I have foam dots there. This is still going to go through the mail just fine, and you can mail these in the letter size envelopes. And then we've got our little die cuts from that Festive Family die. So we've got the little deer and then the little bear. Yeah, well, I was, Stacy, but I'm like, oh, I'll remember this. And then every time I don't remember, and different companies have different sizes. So yeah, I find if I write it down and it's beside it on a sticky note or something, then I don't have to, I can just cut it and not worry that I'm forgetting or. So we're just gonna stick these guys on, kind of like they're just going for a little walk. And there's little penguins, which I thought didn't really fit with my woodsy theme, but the penguins are cute and I definitely want to do something with those. And then if you want to see more of these little dies, last week, actually, I think, no, the week before, I actually used them and made 3 different cards, and those were fun. Now this guy I'm putting on top of the tree, but I tucked him behind here, so you can just do whatever you feel like. Then this is that circle die. So the circle one from the die set, which just to have a nice, I've got everything stuck together now, just to have a nice circle and square, I find is great because you can use those on your regular size. You could use all these on your regular size cards, which would be really good. So I just die cut the circle out. We're going to glue that right on to the center. And then we'll add a little bit of foam tape to this. This is the ephemera pack from that adventure collection. So that's still available. It is cute, hey Betty? And I think just adding the little bit of snow, it's a nice, this would be a nice masculine card, or you could definitely just have it for a winter birthday card, or just a nice card to say hello. I think I've sent more cards this year than I have any other year. And people love getting cards in the mail. I love getting cards in the mail. And this is one of those things like watching paint dry. I'm going to try and get, okay. Hey Carrie, how are you doing? All right, so we've got our little bear. I do like the wolf. I think he's my favorite. And then we've got the little piece of the little adventure ephemera. We'll put that right there. And then what I was going to do with the Wink of Stella, again, I just got on a roll. So the Wink of Stella, you just shake it up. This one is the clear one. I believe it's still in the shop. and there's a gold and a silver as well. The clear adds such a nice shine and shimmer, and if I remembered, we could have done it before I put them on, but it still works. Now if we can get this to show up on camera, it's so nice and shimmery, and it stays on. There's no glitter that falls off or anything. So if you can see, let's see. Sometimes it's so hard to get that to show up on the camera. Just add it to your snow, or you could add a little bit in the background as well. And I'm not sure if you can end up seeing that. Maybe if we put it on here. And you can just, there you can see it. You can glitter everything. So those are fun to have. So I think that's it. You could add some sequins if you wanted. If you wanted to keep it more masculine, you could leave those off. But just a nice kind of fun winter card with a few little techniques. I actually did a few water droplets on the background on this one, which I didn't do here, but those are easy too. You just mist it and let it sit to dry, and then dab it with a paper towel after you get those little water spots showing. Here's our little tag, which is very pretty. Love this kind of color that we just used up our leftover Distress Oxide. So there's both those and that look at the Wild Whisper card that's going to be on the Wild Whisper blog at 4 o'clock. So that's the picket fence and penny black, and that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that was fun, or it's something that you might try. Thanks, Stacy. And you can check out the links and check out the fun things in the shop. There's some new January things that I just saw today when I was quickly browsing, and see what you feel like creating with. Hope you guys have a great week, and then I will be back on Thursday at 3 at the regular time. So Thursday at 3, I'll be back next week, and if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching as well. So have a great week and weekend, guys, and thanks for stopping in.